When it's your first day as a doctor, nobody does it like you.
Nobody takes a sample like they do. Nobody wakes up a dead guy like they do. Nobody steals a patient's sandwich like they do. Nobody makes a diagnosis like they do.
She's dead.
Not really dead.
Don't look at me when we're moving somewhere.
They're not idiots. They're just new. Scrubs premieres NBC Tuesday after Frasier. Now, stay tuned for the premiere of Law & Order: Criminal Intent, coming up next on NBC.
This Wednesday on NBC, it's the all-new episode of West Wing you've been hearing about. All-new West Wing this Wednesday, 9/8 Central on NBC. NBC Wednesday, an all-new Law & Order ripped from the headlines.
We just want some information.
A murder reveals a politician's 30-year-old secret.
I had a split second to make a decision. So you took matters into your own hands.
Stay to the very end if you can handle the truth. All-new Law & Order, NBC Wednesday. NBC Monday, Crossing Jordan, the #1 drama of the season.
This was an execution.
2 separate murders, 2 grieving wives, 1 unusual clue.
I want to find out what my corpse's license plate was doing on your corpse's ass.
Even if you guess who did it,
I found something.
Perfect murder.
you'll never guess the motive. Mackenzie Phillips guest stars on Crossing Jordan, NBC Monday. It's in the way they walk, the way they glance. Everything about them is a lie when they're deep undercover.
It's been a while since I could.
Your crew, we're family. You ain't no orphan anymore. But the toughest part of going undercover is wanting to stay there.
I need you back.
Federation!
You See Undercover premieres next on NBC.
And go. Diamonds.
Diamonds don't keep you warm at night. Let's go call the Kirstens.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next all-new Law & Order: Criminal Intent on NBC.
Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And little man, little Lola wants you. You're no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible. You can give in.
Tell your own fortune. Post your resume and see what tomorrow holds. Even if you already have a job, it's free, easy, and confidential. So log on and leave nothing to chance. Hotjobs.com.
It responds to the power of your voice. It lets you focus on what lies ahead.
OnStar Personal Calling.
Call Commissioner Gordon. With hands-free dialing, you can concentrate on more important things, like driving.
Gordon here.
I'm on my way. Voice-activated calling from OnStar.
Optimism is your weapon, and we're in your corner. With the majority of Fortune 500 companies, hundreds of thousands of jobs, and new listings every day. Come out swinging. Hotjobs.com.
Dad, are we there yet?
No.
Podemos salir. Dito llorar. Soy Figlelenwan. Soy Figlelenwan.
Kalau sa langan, o kono sa pong. Kita kala karong kita kala ko mo nato ko panya ko ba ka
Family vacation on the wings of Goodyear.
Next Sunday, a season of twists and turns begins with Law & Order: Criminal Intent.
Killed him. You shot him.
A doctor who doesn't save lives, he takes them. A Don Juan who loves to kill, and a piece of art that drives people to murder.
Boom. Made you look.
All new Law & Order: Criminal Intent, NBC next Sunday.
Hello, I'm Martin Sheen.
And I'm Bradley Whitford.
In the wake of the events of September 11th, we decided to postpone our premiere.
We wanted to set our continuing storylines aside for a night and try something different.
We hope you'll join us on Wednesday, October 3rd for this new episode.
And we hope you'll join us the following week as well, when we begin our 3rd season of The West Wing.
Thank you.
An all-new episode of The West Wing, Wednesday on NBC.
From the producers of Aaron Brockovich and the writer of Armageddon, UC Undercover premieres next on NBC.
To catch a criminal, you have to become one.
Radio's clean. Speed up.
Jake, Sonny's very good, so stay close.
Way ahead of you.
Next, one lie will set this man free.
Get him out of here! I'm not leaving!
An all-new Practice. Next on ABC. ABC next Sunday. Television's hottest new drama goes the next round.
This is what you're in the middle of, Sydney, and it is long-term.
I think I found it. I have to ask you now.
The show Entertainment Weekly calls the best new drama, and it's only the beginning. All new Alias, ABC next Sunday.
Who can't support who? I know. It's complicated.
Yo! You guys want to see a movie? Action! It's got hot chicks. Holy jokes about getting it on. It's got cursing.
Good breathing.
Bong. What the?
Watch the language, little boy.
It's got
Ben Affleck, Shannon Elizabeth, Will Ferrell.
and Chris Rock yelling at white people.
You the man, sir. No, you the man, and that's the problem.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Rated R. In theaters everywhere Friday.
Morning. How'd you sleep?
Ah, so in essence, I'm buying the case. But what if I don't like the case?
It's a nice case.
No, it's a lovely case.
It's offending.
I like the case.
You did see snippets of Tom Cruise's infomercial in Magnolia, but on the DVD, the infomercial is shown in its entirety.
Learn how to make that lady friend your sex-starved servant.
And check out the alternate ending they considered for Independence Day.
Doesn't anyone have any missiles left?
As if Independence Day had any believability to lose in the first place. But if you think of ID4 as the ultimate summer popcorn movie, the DVD with an entire second disc of bells and whistles is like a big box of Junior Mints to go along with the popcorn.
You know, I talk to people who just devour these DVDs. They look at all the different stuff, and they even go searching for Easter eggs and other hidden things that are somewhere on the disc.
Sure.
And they really get into the movie to such a degree that you're baffled when you're trying to talk to them because they know every
You have to see the DVD,
Yeah, you have
too.
to see it yourself in order to know what they're talking about.
But the point is, as you made earlier, Roger, that you got to really like the film. If you like the film, you really get into this stuff. Now, for example, the DVD of the first Superman with Christopher Reeve includes auditions by a roster of would-be Lois Lanes, including Stockard Channing, Ann Archer, Susan Blakely, Deborah Raffin, and Margot Kidder, who won the role.
Well, just how fast do you fly?
Oh, I don't know, really. You know, I've never actually timed myself. Say, why don't we find out together?
And just how do you suggest that we do that?
And Sean Penn talks about playing Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It was a lot of fun, you know. You're working with a lot of people your own age who are also just starting out.
You know, Sean Penn's not much on doing publicity, so he must have a real fondness for that character to appear all these years later in a documentary about Fast Times. If we could only get him to play Spicoli at age 40, maybe that'll be next.
That could be an idea for a great movie because Fast Times at Ridgemont High introduced so many new stars.
Yeah.
That was like the American Graffiti of the 80s.
Of the early 80s.
You can even go behind the scenes in animation, where in a way there really aren't any scenes to go behind because animation is all in 2 dimensions. Look at this new collector's DVD of Fantasia. Walt Disney originally wanted a segment based on the Ride of the Valkyries, but on the eve of American participation in World War II, here's what the studio decided.
It was perhaps considered too Germanic a piece to be inserted in any future Fantasia.
And here's a different generation of animation. The Chicken Run DVD has special features showing how the famous Aardman animators created the world of Tweety's Farm.
Stop-motion animation is the process of placing a model in front of a camera and taking a picture. Then, moving that model and taking another picture. Repeating the process 24 times yields 1 full second of animation.
One of the neat things about all the how they did it backstage stuff on these DVDs is that the technicians who do the special effects and paint the matte drawings and animate the tabletop stuff and make the waves and so forth get to talk about their contribution. And they work all the time in the shadows of the directors and the stars, and now they get to talk.
Now we understand why it takes 400 people to make a movie and why some of these movies cost $80 million.
Coming up next, the answer to how did they do that on a whole lot of other movies.
Hey, Arbor Mist, great idea.
Not so fast, guys. Yeah, what have you done for us lately?
An Arbor Mist for that?
New from Arbor Mist, Melon White Zinfandel. Great tasting wine, a splash of fruit.
Oh, my. Now that deserves an Arbor Mist.
Can't resist the mist.
Attention, citizens! Do not pre-wash your dishes. Throw your scrubber away. You do not need to pre-wash your dishes. Sorry.
For years, we told you not to pre-wash your dishes. And for years, you thought we were crazy.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. But with twice the jets, the Maytag Jet Clean dishwasher works so well, you really don't have to pre-wash your dishes.
I am serious. You don't need these anymore.
Son, give it a rest, will you?
The Maytag Jet Clean dishwasher.
They're your friends, your neighbors, someone you know. Ordinary people who make a difference, touching our lives in extraordinary ways. Eyewitness News salutes these Southern California heroes. Friday at 4. You can help. Tell us about a hero you know. Online at www.abc7.com or by mail at 500 Circle 7 Drive, Glendale, California 91201. Your Southern California Lincoln Mercury dealers are proud to bring you Eyewitness News salutes.
For 60 years, we've made off-road history. And now we're doing it again. With unbelievable savings during the Jeep Model Year-End Clearance, where you can get $2,000 in lease cash toward a $269 a month Grand Cherokee lease if you're a qualified lessee coming off a current Ford Explorer or Daimler Chrysler lease. So don't wait. Head to the Jeep Model Year-End Clearance today, because we can take you everywhere, but the adventures all start here. Now at your Southern California Jeep dealer.
Neither the storm nor the boat are real in that scene from The Perfect Storm, but they sure do look like they are. Continuing this special show about bells and whistles on DVDs, this segment is about how sometimes you walk out of the theater wondering, how did they do that? The DVD shows you how they took live-action shots in a giant water tank and blended them with computer-generated special effects.
You know, you see a little bit of a wave over here that has been added. And then on this other side here as well, you know, we show just doing some lightning frames, sort of like showing the monster in the background behind us.
In The Patriot, it looks like there are hundreds of soldiers in some of the battle scenes, and here's how they did that.
So we finally wound up essentially having to get rid of the whole battle that was being seen out the window and replace it entirely with computer graphic soldiers and explosions that we cut from other takes.
Alfred Hitchcock didn't have computers when he made The Birds in 1963, but moviegoers were amazed by the way he got those birds to behave so ominously. On the DVD, there's a new documentary interviewing people who worked with him at the time.
These kids, they'd tie the birds to the back of their collars, and they'd be flapping and carrying on, and it was quite terrifying, really. But how else could you do it?
Sometimes I know people wonder if it really helps to know the secrets behind some of the great shots. And this is my theory. The first time I see a movie, I don't want to know anything. I just want to sit there, and after that,
Sure.
Then, if I like the movie, I want to know everything.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw The Patriot, I had no idea that they had done that, but now that I've seen the movie and enjoyed it, watching it on DVD, it just enhances my enjoyment.
In the commentary track on the life and death of Colonel Blimp, Michael Powell, the director, is talking to Martin Scorsese, and Scorsese says, "Gee, how'd you get 150 extras in wartime?" And Powell says, "I think if you look carefully, Martin, you'll see that 2/3 of them are plaster of Paris."
Not moving around too much. Some movies just cry out for how'd they do it type DVD bells and whistles. For example, The Matrix. When I saw it in the movie theater, I was already thinking about that souped up DVD version that would come out, and sure enough, it has a terrific package explaining some of the special effects.
Each camera has a specific moment in time to fire a frame of film. All that is taking into account the net effect, the total effect of the move. That is a camera coming up to speed, moving at a speed, and coming off a speed.
Time traveling in the other direction, the makers of Gladiator show how they created their vision of Rome as it was some 1,800 years ago.
We can basically do anything. Given enough time and given enough money, anything is possible.
And in one of my favorite tutorials, the makers of The Sixth Sense explain the rules and clues they sprinkled throughout the movie.
So when he's out in public, like he's in the restaurant, you look closely when he comes up to the table and he sits down with his wife, he doesn't move the chair.
Sometimes bells and whistles are more than just shiny doodads. In the case of The Sixth Sense, they truly enhance the experience of rewatching a brilliantly conceived thriller.
You know, that's also the case with the DVD of Fight Club, a movie that I had some problems with when it came out, but certainly there are clues and ideas in that movie that benefit from the 2-disc set that they brought out on DVD.
And after I watched all those bells and whistles on the Fight Club, then I did want to go back and watch the movie again.
Coming up next, we've talked about a lot of things that are on DVDs, but there are things that only DVDs can do.
In other news, George Taylor was expected to be promoted today at Cryogenics. Mr. Taylor failed to show. Company officials are concerned. He should have called 976-WAKE at just $2 for a reliable wake-up call. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE, 976-WAKE.
Camp is where it all begins. Talent emerges, respect grows. Raw rookies and wise veterans become teammates bonded, and championship dreams are born. ABC Sports presents the American Bowl. Raiders, Cowboys, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Chores, according to Jim.
I didn't know if you wanted me to do the dishes or not, so I didn't.
According to Jim, D-Day Wednesdays this fall on ABC.
A big Southern California tradition just got bigger. Come celebrate the largest gathering of Filipino artists in the nation at the 10th Annual Festival of Philippine Arts and Culture, September 8th and 9th at Point Fermin in San Pedro. Enjoy authentic Filipino food, arts and crafts, special celebrity appearances, and continuous entertainment on 3 stages. Admission is free. For more information, please call 213-389-3050 or log on to philamarts.org. Alina kayo, kita tayo dun.
Final boarding call. All passengers, gate 10. Don't be late. Call 976-WAKE for a reliable wake-up call, just $2. When you can't be late, you gotta call WAKE. That's 976-WAKE. Call now.
More than 50 big-name stars made cameos in Robert Altman's wonderful Hollywood satire, The Player. But if you can't remember exactly when Jack Lemmon played the piano, the DVD has a handy feature called Go to My Scene. All you do is click on an actor's picture and you're there. That's an example of one of those cool extras you like to show your friends when you're spinning through your DVD collection. Like this medley of wacky moments on the set of Armageddon.
Yo, Houston, what's going on?
Maybe he was the wrong choice for this mission. IMCA. You can get your duck stick.
Now, the X-Men DVD includes a very cool animated storyboard outlining the train station fight sequence. The 6-DVD set Marilyn Monroe The Diamond Collection includes a disc titled Marilyn Monroe, The Final Days, which includes a fascinating documentary about Marilyn's last and unfinished movie, Something's Gotta Give, from which she was fired, partly because she left the set to sing at JFK's birthday party.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
When a DVD provides a fresh look at a great star like that, it's almost as good as J.D. Salinger writing an introduction to the next printing of Catcher in the Rye.
A mind-boggling concept. Another bonus that most DVDs offer is subtitles in more than one language. In fact, some of the Hong Kong action classics are subtitled in 8 or 9 languages. Here's another bonus. Even when the film is in English, it often has subtitles in English, which makes them great for the hearing impaired. You can even use the subtitles to settle bets. For example, people have watched Casablanca for years, wondering exactly what Peter Lorre says here when he tells Bogart about the letters of transit.
Letters of transit, signed by General Weygand.
Did he say they were signed by General de Gaulle? How could that be? De Gaulle was the enemy of the Nazis. Okay, let's click on the English subtitles and see what he said.
Letters of transit, signed by General Weygand.
Aha, the English subtitles say de Gaulle. Okay, let's see what the French subtitles say.
Letters of transit, signed by General Weygand.
And that to me almost qualifies as an Easter egg because it's a secret thing that most people will never figure out, which is that the subtitlers couldn't agree on what Peter Lorre said. DVDs also let you listen to the same movie in different languages. Here's Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry in English, French, or Spanish. He's one tough hombre.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
¿Qué me contestas, eh?
And some discs allow an easy comparison between the screenplay and final film. Here's an example from Taxi Driver.
I realize now how much she is just like the others, cold and distant.
Now, not everybody is going to want to do a line-by-line comparison of a screenplay, but it's great if you're doing a class assignment or learning how to write screenplays or studying acting, because you can see a little better what kinds of personal styles and spins the actors are adding to the words.
And I love the subtitle thing, because Marlon Brando sort of famously mumbles his lines like this. How would you love to have the subtitles with him?
One of the best-known bells and whistles on DVDs are the alternate audio tracks. This is where you can hear the director, the actors, the writers, or crew members describing a movie one shot at a time. For example, Tim Burton discussing his 1990 fantasy, Edward Scissorhands.
I realized, too, this film could be a result of watching a lot of those K-Tel ads where all these weird products growing up. Looking at this, I didn't realize that the inspiration could be the pocket fisherman.
You just have to be yourself.
Even critics get in the act. I did a commentary on Dark City, the science fiction epic.
What Proyas does throughout this stretch of the film is not to do a lot of tracking or panning or zooming, but to cut from one static setup to another.
That was hard work. It took about 8 hours to record that track, although sometimes it sounds like actors just do it in real time, walking in, sitting down in front of the TV, opening up the mic, and with a case of beer right there handy.
Yeah, I'd say so. In fact, a classic example of that is in Boogie Nights. It's a brilliant spoof, almost, of these audio commentaries. You got audio tracks here that seem maybe a little bit sloppy, or maybe they're just really entertaining. Mark Wahlberg, for example, keeps complaining that he's got to be somewhere as his cell phone keeps ringing, and John C. Reilly might be playing that drinking game himself. He seems rather lubricated as he rambles on to director Paul Thomas Anderson about Burt Reynolds.
He was so much older than everyone else in the movie for most of the scenes that he was doing, except for like Bob Ridgely and Philip Baker Hall. He rose to the challenge. You know, he was kind of like he was really out of his element.
And leave it to the members of Spinal Tap to stay in character as they provide commentary about that landmark mockumentary.
Such a waste of nice flowers to put them on a dead bloke's headstone.
Well, you're going to put it on a live bloke's headstone.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I have to say I much prefer these creative audio commentaries to the producer and director saying things like, Tom and Meg were great to work with, or we had such a hard time getting that shot. I like when they add a little more to it.
Yeah, you know, sometimes there are spontaneous moments that are really touching. For example, in the commentary for Nashville, Robert Altman sees a scene involving Tommy Thompson, who was his assistant director for 30 years, and who had died just a week before he recorded that track, and he begins to talk about Thompson. And you realize you're really in the moment with the director talking about a colleague.
And it's not like they're doing 7th or 8th takes on that. You're getting the raw, spontaneous emotion. Okay, coming up next, a very popular feature of DVDs nicknamed Easter eggs.
I did it.
The Maytag Gemini range is the only range with 2 separate ovens. Two ovens.
Better put the rolls in the oven.
But the chicken isn't done, and the rolls bake at 400.
Guess we can just have the rolls for dessert.
Who said you're staying for dessert?
The Maytag Gemini, 2 ovens, 2 temperatures, 1 harmonious meal.
It's not just ovens. I even defrosted a freezer instead of going to the prom. What do you think of that?
I think someone needs a hug.
Today at IBM.com, we're talking about the incredibly powerful IBM NetVista A60.
This computer is so great, you could alter the trajectory of interstellar spacecraft with it.
We can't say that legally.
It has a super powerful Intel Pentium 4 processor, 1.3 gigahertz, so it can run multiple business apps at once. You could predict the weather years in advance with pinpoint accuracy. Hey, Mike, just loosen the tie a little bit. You know what I mean, buddy?
It's not me. It's the legal system.
It's a sign that's meant to tell you what the freeway is doing up ahead. And it seemed like a perfect metaphor for me for a sign who can tell you what's going to go on up ahead in your life.
Steve Martin explains the inspiration for L.A. Story in a feature not listed on the DVD menu for that movie. It's an example of an Easter egg, a hidden treasure that might not be listed or detailed anywhere on the DVD box or even in the press materials, but it's well worth the hunt. For example, in the DVD of the first Rocky, go to the main menu, click the up button until the Rocky logo appears. Now hit enter and you'll kick off a 3-minute feature in which Sylvester Stallone meets his creation face to face.
If we had to do it all over again, is there anything you'd change?
Yeah, you kidding? I would never drink them raw eggs again.
And show a little patience when you find the color bars in Magnolia, and they'll eventually lead you to an outtake of Tom Cruise cracking up in a scene about a dead dog.
I mean, when I got to the hospital, no one would listen to me. I was saying, hey, you know, Pookie's in trouble here.
Not every DVD comes with an Easter egg, and many eggs are of the soft-boiled variety. You just get an extra TV commercial or a list of people who contributed to the DVD. I say if you're going to go to the trouble of hiding Easter eggs, make sure they're well decorated.
Yeah, I don't want to go clicking around for hours only to find out who did the sound on the alternate soundtrack.
Exactly.
You can find dozens of Easter eggs listed on the web at dvdreview.com. Here are a few of them. The DVD of the Bedazzled remake contains a 10-minute scene featuring Brendan Fraser as a raunchy rock star. And from Being John Malkovich, here's one of my favorite Easter eggs. See what it says? Now look what happens when you press it. I wonder if it's cheating to go to the web to find the Easter eggs instead of spending hours clicking all over the screen.
Go to the web, save some time. You know, I do love this stuff, but sometimes the Easter egg hunt is so complicated and tedious, I just do want to go back to watching that movie. You're supposed to be able to find all kinds of hidden extras, for example, on the Independence Day DVD by highlighting the main menu entry, but then you have to press the right button arrow, then you have to enter the ship while pressing the numbers 7 and 4 on your remote. I kept failing in my mission. I finally just gave up on it. Is there such a thing as too many bells and whistles? You betcha.
Some of these DVDs throw in everything but the kitchen sink, and then they add the kitchen sink. For example, the multi-disc sets for Brazil and for Terminator 2. Those are two of the landmarks of DVD production. Coming up next, we each name our favorite DVD.
When your skin sags, it can make you look older. Now you can take matters into your own hands with the new Rock Daily Firming Treatment, Proteant Active Pure. Our exclusive molecule, Proteant, is proven to work deep in the skin's surface to lift and tighten. Your skin looks and feels firmer. Your face is visibly lifted in just 8 weeks. New Proteant Active Pure Daily Firming Treatment. Rock, we keep our promises.
The Maytag Gemini range is the only range with 2 separate ovens. Two ovens.
Better put the rolls in the oven.
But the chicken isn't done, and the rolls bake at 400.
Guess we can just have the rolls for dessert.
Who said you're staying for dessert?
The Maytag Gemini, 2 ovens, 2 temperatures, 1 harmonious meal.
It's not just ovens. I even defrosted a freezer instead of going to the prom. What do you think of that?
I think someone needs a hug.
Who do you trust? Who do you look to? Who can you count on? Take comfort in a familiar face. The people of Eyewitness News. Through the years, when you look to be informed, when you search for understanding, when coverage matters, trust a familiar face. Your friends at ABC7. This is Eyewitness News.
Now Richard and I are both going to select our personal favorite DVDs, not just for the bells and whistles, but overall. And my choice would be the DVD of The Third Man, one of the greatest films of all time. For one thing, it looks great. Look at this comparison between the picture they started with and what it looked like after they restored it. It has newsreel footage of the famous sewers where the chase scene was held.
Sometimes the going is comparatively easy, though it could never be called pleasant.
And it even has 2 different radio broadcasts with Orson Welles starring as Harry Lime.
That was the shot that killed Harry Lime.
A great disc for a great movie.
My favorite DVD of the moment is the awards edition of American Beauty, which augments one of the best films of the last several years with more than 3 hours of bells and whistles, including an illuminating documentary, production notes, commentary from the director Sam Mendes and screenwriter Alan Ball, and even a DVD-ROM feature that lets you watch the movie, read the screenplay, glance at the storyboard all at once. It's like taking a film class on your home computer.
And a lot of these DVDs also have links, so if you happen to be watching them on a computer, you can click the link and go to a website that tells you even more. There's no end to it. That's it for this special show. Remember, you can hear our reviews and get a list of all these DVD titles at ebert-roper-movies.com and read us in print at...
It's called the United States of America. And over the weekend, from sea to shining sea,